Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I can't even believe I'm up in this live, man. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I know we got a very big game going on with the what is it? With the Memphis Grizzlies. So I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I'm sure you guys want to watch that. But I gotta react to what I just saw. So I'm gonna give everybody a chance to get in this live. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like button and make sure you check in. Let us know where you're coming from because I got a lot of stuff I want to get off my chest, man. I cannot believe what I just witnessed. I cannot believe what I just witnessed. And yes, like what is it? Daniel Orton said, we need to talk. It is time for us to have a conversation. I wasn't even planning on doing this live. I was so tired. I got a headache. I was about to go to bed. But then one of our viewers said, man, we need a live reaction. So I said, okay, we're just gonna do a live. So everybody just come on in, check. Let me give everybody some time. Make sure you hit the like button because I'm gonna go off in this live right here. I'm gonna go off. I see you guys are coming in. Brown went crazy. Yeah, he was the only one, Jose. He was the only one. It looked like the way Brown was playing. He looked like he was the max contract guy out there. I mean, the way he was playing, you would have. I mean, you would have thought he was a guy earning $20 million a year. The way he was playing. Let me give it a few minutes. Hope y'all can hear me. Check in. Let's get the likes up. Let's give it about 30 more seconds. Somebody bringing out the broom. Actually, I've been on Twitter. So I'm gonna give you guys my handle. I was chatting on Twitter during the game. The Celtics broke KD. Nah, man, KD. I'm gonna get into all of that. Let's give it about 20 more seconds. Make sure you get the like. KD got his heart snatched game one and never been the same. Charles Bro was good. Hey, Sammy was good. Welcome in. Kawhi would never strong Braun 2011. No, I'm not going to diss LeBron, man. This is about the Nets, KD, and these guys. Hey, Sean, appreciate that. KD is basically repeating how he played with OKC in the playoffs. KD should have swallowed his pride and stayed with Golden State. Ha ha ha! You never know. Mark was good. Welcome in. Okay, we give it about 10 more seconds. We're gonna get it started. Professor Johnny was good. What's good? You missed the game. Hey, Kato, man, you missed a slap-a-thon. Anyway. All right, so let's get it going. As people come in, make sure you hit the likes. I got a lot I want to get off my chest. First of all, let me just give you guys my raw reaction to what the hell I just saw. Going into this series, guys, I picked the Boston Celtics to beat this team. Hey, appreciate that, Daniel. I picked them to beat the Brooklyn Nets in 7 games. In 7 games, I gave them 7 because all we heard about was how skilled this Nets dynamic duo is. So I expected these guys to go out there and get buckets. And in game 1, Kyrie Irving showed up. But what the hell has been wrong with Kevin? This entire thing, if I had to apportion, if I had to give out a percentage of blame, like who deserves the most blame, out of 100% slice, I would give Kevin Durant about 50%. I would give Kyrie Irving about 25%. And I would give the coach 25%. We got to start off with Kevin Durant. What the hell has happened to Kevin Durant? Did y'all just finish watching it? Did y'all see how Kevin Durant was walking around the court with his head held down like as if, like, I couldn't even believe. Kevin Durant just turned into freaking Ben Simmons in this freaking series. KD has been terrible this series. Terrible. I was all over Twitter. I was posting about it. The minute that game started, and I looked at the energy of those Nets players, and I looked at Kevin Durant, and I noticed within the first maybe 6 to 8 minutes, and I noticed KD hadn't attempted more than 5 shots. I said, this dude ain't going to be doing nothing tonight. Kevin Durant looks like he is resigned to the fact that he cannot figure out a way to score against this Boston Celtics defense. Guys, let me tell you, if the Brooklyn Nets get swept, this will be one of the biggest disasters we've seen in the NBA in a long time. Let me see. Matt Jacobson, would the Nets be better with Harden over KD? I don't know. I don't know because you can't trust James Harden. If we're talking about from a physicality standpoint, maybe if James Harden could maybe bulldoze his way to the basket, if that's what you mean, probably. But Kevin Durant is clearly the better basketball player than James Harden. He clearly is. And that's why I'm going to give him the most blame. KD, think about this. KD finished this game. I want you guys to listen to this. He finished the game with 11 shots. He shot 54% from the field, but he only attempted 11 shots. So when you look at his overall shooting percentage, it probably, if I look at Kevin Durant, what is he shooting in this series? Kevin Durant is shooting 36.5%. It looks like it's high, but Kevin Durant only attempted 11 shots. Bruce Brown attempted 19 shots. And some people will say, wait a minute. That's not necessarily fair because the defense is going to try to stop KD from getting up shots and all of these different things. So obviously they were saying, okay, we're going to double KD and Kyrie and let these other guys get other shots. I understand that. But in that other game that they played in game 2 in Boston, KD, I think, had 20 free throw attempts. He was at least still being aggressive. In this game, appreciate you guys for coming in. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like. I'm also going to be taking a lot of your questions, so stick around for this one. But in this game, KD totally shut down. KD only had 2 free throw attempts the entire game. I posted this on Twitter. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm going to put my Twitter handle here real quick. So maybe some of you guys will follow me. I'm going to pin it to the top. Let me just pin that. Let me pin that to the top here. Let me see if I can pin that to the top. Let me see who left this message. This is from Mark Law. KD, Kyrie, LeBron, Steph are all great, but when it comes to Harden, none of them are better than Kawhi. He plays both ends effectively. Giannis is a close set. See, I appreciate that comment. What you guys are noticing with Kevin Durant is this. You're looking at a basketball player that spent all his time working on his skills, but never worked on his body. KD is too skinny. This is one of the biggest challenges he is having. He is too skinny. It sounds hilarious. The reason I'm saying it is KD cannot even be physical with these guys. They're literally pushing him off of his spots. If you watch Kevin Durant play, when Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown or any of these Boston Celtics players are getting into his body, you'll notice that he'll be like on one leg because they're pushing him off of his spots. How often do you see Giannis or Kawhi or LeBron get pushed off? These are guys that actually worked on their bodies. KD did not work on his body, and now it's coming to betray him because when you play physical defense, you could basically rough him up. KD is out there looking like a spaghetti in the wind. He looks like a freaking spaghetti in the freaking wind right now. They are tossing him all over the place. Look how easy he's turning over. Whenever he tries to make a pass, the minute they bump him, it's like all of a sudden he loses the ball. So KD, this is a total choke job by KD. That's the first thing. Let me get to the second part of this. If we are going to get on LeBron when he doesn't play well or he chokes, or we going to get on Kawhi when Kawhi blew that 3-1 series, that 3-1 lead against the Denver Nuggets. If KD loses this series right here, this series right here, this right here, bro, this series right here, if he blows this series, it'd be worse than what Kawhi Leonard and these guys, what happened to Kawhi and those guys. Because at least that series went 7 games. If they get swept in the first round, bruh, you see, I want to cuss right now, but I can't. I want to say a lot of ends, but I can't. Trust me, I want to. because this is the perfect moment for me to be I might say it one time before this live is over, because I'm gonna leave it at that. So KD, I mean, if we're gonna get on them, we gotta get on Kevin Durant. Let's talk about Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, I'm only talking about his basketball. Kyrie Irving, the basketball player. Forget about what happened in the regular season. Kyrie Irving has been one of the most rested players in the NBA. He probably played only a quarter. He says, somebody say, you want me to say? I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. You're not going to get me to say it, man. Let me see. God has always been humbling men who fancy themselves as a God. Listen, appreciate that comment, Sub-Zero. Kyrie Irving doesn't get to walk away from this without some blame, because Kyrie also acts like he's above it all. You got to own this. We're not going to put all of this on KD. We're not. Kyrie hasn't been good either. Kyrie, I've been told, is the most skilled basketball player of all time. And when people were saying, oh, Kyrie's more skilled than Kobe, he's more skilled than Jordan, you're beginning to see the limits of Kyrie's game, because there's no way you could freeze out Kobe or Jordan or one of these guys, because they will back you into the post and they will post you up and they will score from there. You just can't push them out. You just can't shade them to different spots on the floor. Let me see this comment right here. This is from Shadrach, the Project TV. West Brick is the GOAT, and for you to talk crap is a sin and should repent. What the this anyway, let me see what the other dude said. Taron Coleman, Boston just playing gritty, taking it to the street. Man, these dude, I don't know what's going. Anyway, is Jason Tatum appreciate that comment, by the way. Is Jason Tatum a future MVP? Jason Tatum is showing me that he's turning into one of the best two-way players in basketball. I don't think any of us going into this particular series right here would have said that Jason Tatum would have been able to play KD as the primary defender, man to man, and actually stop him. Let's get back to the Nets. The Nets have been a bad defensive team. If you watch that game, usually when teams go into a zone, it means that they cannot stop you man-to-man coverage. The Nets were in a zone all game long, which brings me to the coach in Steve Nash. What the hell has Steve Nash been doing all year long? Who do you know as an NBA coach that goes 3 games in a series and does not make one single tangible adjustment, except he decided, you know what, we're going to start this game 3 off in a zone. Then this dude ran the zone all game long. So what did the Boston Celtics do? They got him in a high pick and roll. Al Horford rolls to the middle of the freaking floor, at the top of the key, or the elbow, whatever it is. The defense collapses, and all of a sudden, he's looking for open shooters. It's a screen and rolls. They puncture that zone. He gets in the middle. All of a sudden, somebody has to help, and you have open threes. And you would have thought that the coach would have tried to do something else. He did nothing. Then he waited. Think about this. Steve Nash waited until the fourth quarter, I think, with about 8 minutes? How many? I'm going to tell you right now. How many minutes did Blake Griffin play? I'm going to tell y'all right now. This joker waited till about probably the 8-minute mark or the 9-minute mark in the fourth quarter to bring in Blake Griffin. The dude comes in. He goes 2 of 4. He hits 2 3-pointers. He gets a rebound, and he gets a block. And you waited for the fourth quarter of a game that if you lose it, you could potentially be going home. That's when you decide to sub that dude. Listen, Steve Nash looks like he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And the reason, some people are saying it's the coach. The reason I'm bringing Kyrie and these guys into it is because these guys wanted this coach. KD and Kyrie could have got Mark Jackson. They could have got Jeff Van Gundy. They could have got, hell, I don't know who was available. They could have got any. I don't know. Was Tyronn Lue available? Maybe Ty Lue. They could have got a much better coach. But instead, they wanted to go with an unproven Steve Nash. Steve Nash doesn't know what the hell he is doing, which brings me to this next point. Y'all know Nick Wright was sitting back, eating chicken, rubbing his belly, and getting ready to roast the hell out of the Brooklyn Nets because Nick Wright said one thing, and that thing was, he said, with this Nets team, it's always next season. It's always next season. I said it. Then when they had James Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant, I thought that version of this Brooklyn Nets team was the most dangerous version of this team. Do you know why? Because when they had Harden, you could not, the Boston Celtics could not be doing what they are doing with KD because you would be forced to play him single coverage. When you have three dudes that could hit you up on any given night for 75 or 90 points, you can't do that with this particular team. Which brings me to Ben Simmons. Yeah, I saw Mark Jackson might be going to Sacramento. Yes, I saw that. Which brings me to Ben Simmons. I'm sitting here getting ready to do this live for you guys. I put the post, the notification on our Instagram, and I'm also going to give you that. And I open up my Instagram, and what do I see? Goddamn Ben Simmons. Look what I see. And this particular post says, this is Ben Simmons. My IQ is so high to play with guys like Kyrie, Seth, and KD. I know they want to play. What kind of nigga? What? Yo, man, this nigga here, man. I'm sorry. I just had to. I'm sorry. Like, I had to get that out I'm sorry. This dude right here, man. Who do you know says this type of? Who do you know says this? This dude has not played. I'm sorry. Yeah, I see y'all cracking up. I couldn't hold it in anymore, man. I couldn't hold it in, man. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I just had to let it go. Come on, man. Like, come on. Like, come on, B. Anyway, Ben Simmons has not played basketball. Yo, y'all. Ben Simmons has not played basketball in like damn near a year. The last time we saw you, you were choking it. You were choking up the joint. And then you come back talking about my basketball IQ. So your basketball IQ was so high that you had a wide open layup and you decided to pass it up to a dude so he can get clobbered by two. Your basketball IQ was so high that when it came time to work on your free throws, you didn't even do that. But yet, this is the problem with the Nets. They got dudes out there saying stuff like this. You got Kyrie talking about we don't need a coach. You got Ben Simmons talking about my IQ is so high. Who's the leader on this team? Who's the leader? Is Kevin Durant the leader? KD looks lost. He looks lost. So to me, listen, if this Nets team gets swept, if we're going to make fun of LeBron for losing in the playoffs, if we're going to make fun of Kawhi after he blew a 3-1 lead, we got to make fun of we got to get on Kevin Durant for this. We got to get on Kevin Durant. We have to. If we're going to get on Russell Westbrook for not playing well, we got to get on Kyrie. Kyrie and it's terrible. So let me go through some of the comments. Let me see what y'all been saying. KD quit. He been soft for 14 years. Tatum and Brown were solid down to, they were solid, man. They were. What I posted on Twitter was this. even when the Brooklyn Nets were trying, when they were making a run, they couldn't even get any stops. They couldn't. And this is what we're talking about. Being able to get 1, 2, 3 stops and scoring. That's how the Boston Celtics won game 1. They were down 5 points, I think, with less than 2 minutes to go. They got 2 stops. No, was it 2 or 3 stops? Came back and won the game. In this case, the Nets kept scoring, but they couldn't get stops. And Kevin Durant kept on turning over the ball. It was, anyway. So to me, let me see. Okay, yeah. So to me, man, listen. This thing has been a total disaster. It's been a total disaster. They have no physicality. Let me just go through some of the comments. They have no physicality. Yeah, I agree. KD is he's not a power play. He's not like a Giannis. There's no excuse for Kevin Durant to be in the NBA and to be that damn skinny. When Giannis came into the NBA, he put on a lot of weight. Go look at Embiid. Look at Jordan. Look at Cole. Look at LeBron. When LeBron got in, look at Kawhi. When these guys got into the NBA, the majority of these guys were skinny. But they worked really hard to put on some muscle. KD didn't do any of the dude he was looking like a spaghetti in the wind. Charles, will you take Tatum over KD right now? Would I take Jason Tatum over KD right now? I wouldn't. And the reason I wouldn't is if we're talking about KD playing against I'll answer that for you. Kevin Durant is struggling against a team that has a lot of length, that has a lot of size, that can play great physical basketball. Now, if you're telling me that Jason Tatum is going to be facing that type of defense, the same type of defense that KD's facing, because the Boston Celtics are not facing that type of defense because the Nets cannot play defense like that, then I would take KD. But if you're telling me that they're not just going to be playing regular season games against normal teams, I'm taking KD 100 out of 100 times. 100 out of 100 times. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Let me see. Devin Booker or Jason Tatum? Jason Tatum for sure, man. Let me go through some more comments. Nets have no bigs. Simmons is, man, I'm not even wasting my time talking about no damn Ben Simmons. This is how you know Ben. Look, did y'all see what he was wearing? Did y'all see what? If I'm Ben Simmons and I'm not playing and my team needs me, I would be wearing like a gray sweatsuit and a hood. I don't want anybody to notice that I'm even there. Because the minute people notice me, they're going to be looking at me like, yo, bro, can't you play? What's good? Like, you all right? Can you play? Ben Simmons is like, yo, I'm all for it. I'm going to put on my rainbow sunglasses, my what is it? My tangerine socks. I don't know what the hell this dude be wearing. And he just goes out there. I don't know what the hell is wrong with Ben. I'm not even trying to pay attention to Ben Simmons, man. He be on some. Let me see what other comments y'all got. I could take some of your questions. Oh, also, by the way, if y'all want to follow us on Instagram, because we also take some of your comments there. Here's our Instagram. I'm going to pin that to the top. No, just a second. Just 1 second. I'm going to get to your comment. I just saw your comment. 1 second. Okay. Somebody left a comment. Where do you rank KD all time? I got KD in the top 15. I got him in the top 15 right now. He's up there. I got him ahead of Steph. But if he collapses like this, man, we got to come back and talk about it. I mean, yeah, it's worse to lose in the finals, but this is crazy. This is crazy. Let me see. I'll take 1 or 2 more questions. If you guys got any questions, I'll answer a few more. Yeah, he's top 15. Come on, he's top 15. Top 15, top 20, but I think he's top 15. I think KD, Stephen Curry, Kawhi, these guys are all in the top 15, top 20. These guys, Giannis, they're all up there. Let me see. How is this the worst to how is it worse to lose in the how's it what? How is it worse to lose in the final? Because if you keep looking, the finals is the biggest stage, man. You get to the finals and you keep losing on the biggest stage, like after a while, it's not a good look, man. Especially if you're comparing, you can lose in the finals is fine. But once you start trying to compare one player to another player in the finals, then your finals record you have to bring that into consideration. Number one. Number two, this when you're in the finals, man, you're playing against the best competition in the world, and usually you're one of the best if you're in the finals. So usually losing in the finals all the time is not a good look, in my opinion. But that's just me. Obviously, circumstances matter. Some people saying that this is not this Brooklyn Nets team is a 7 seed. They're not really a 7 seed because when Kevin Durant was healthy, that team was the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. They're not a normal 7 seed. A 7 seed is not this good. Let me see. Can any playoff team beat the Celtics team current in the playoffs in the East? For sure, I think the Bucks can beat them for sure. Obviously, Chris Middleton is out. I don't know how long he's going to be gone, but I definitely think he can beat. I think they can be beaten. Do you think if Clippers are healthy, they can win? Yes, I do think the Clippers, if they're healthy, they can win. I think they can come out of the West next season. I don't know what the Lakers are going to do. I don't know what they're going to do with their coaching. I don't know if they're going to make any moves. So I definitely think the Clippers are going to be one of the top 4 seeds with the Warriors, the Suns, the Grizzlies, and then probably another team we're not paying attention to. But I think, and if I had to go into the playoffs, I'll pick them over everybody. But Memphis is a really tough team. I've seen Memphis beat the Clippers quite a lot, like already. Thanks for the question. Celtics are just a better team. It reminds me of when the Pistons beat my Lakers in 2004. Lakers had big. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But again, man, it was a little bit different. Again, at least that Lakers team made it to the finals, and then they lost. This Boston Celtics team, this Brooklyn Nets team is still in round 1. And I think most of us will agree that the Brooklyn Nets have the best player going into this series in Kevin Durant. And then you have, and two of the top 3 players are on the Nets. You have Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Kyrie, and then I would say Jaylen Brown. So they have a lot of talent. It's just that they have a really stupid coach and they don't play defense. And Kevin Durant is being pushed all over the floor because he's too skinny. This is one of the problems. Thanks for the question. The Nets need to do something with their coaching. Yeah, I agree. I think if they lose this series, I was listening to Steven Jackson on Speak for Yourself. Somebody needs to get fired. No, Steve Nash needs to get fired. There's no good reason that Steve Nash should still get to keep his job if this team loses. Steve Nash would need to get fired if this happens. Charles, KD should have went to the Clippers when Kawhi. Yeah, but by saying that, it's a good point. Who brought up this point? This is Josh Smith. This is a good point you brought up. But if you bring up that point, you're going to bring up Stephen A. Smith. And I was getting on Stephen A. Smith a few months ago when he said, and he may end up being right, and I may end up being wrong, but Stephen A. Smith said, Kevin Durant may risk going down as the guy who left Stephen Curry for Kyrie Irving. You could say the same thing. He passed up Kawhi Leonard to go play with Kyrie. I think we can now all agree that was the wrong thing. You don't pass up Kawhi to go play with Kyrie Irving, except if you're being sentimental. You want to be with your best friend. But what they had in Golden State, if he had stayed, he would have probably won another championship by now if he had stayed. Let me get to this next. Appreciate that question. Let me see the next question. Someone just left a question. This is Yin. Okay, I don't know what. Okay, why are people saying that they are the most skilled duo ever and not mention their defensive? Because nobody wants to talk about defense. Skill is all about how you can dribble the ball and how you can shoot. Defense is also a skill. There's no way you're not going to tell me this Scottie Pippen is not a skilled basketball player because he can't shoot like Kevin Durant. That's absurd. Scottie Pippen was one of the greatest players of all time because he was one of the best defenders of all. There's no way you're going to tell me that Scottie Pippen is not skilled and he's one of the best defenders of all time, or Dennis Rodman, or Bill Russell. There's no way you're going to tell me that. It doesn't just come down to dribbling and shooting, in my personal opinion. Didn't people have KD and Kyrie as the best? I didn't. You need to play. If you play basketball and you can stay in front of a dude that can dribble the ball and do all of these different moves, you got some skills. There's a lot more to, I want to be able to defend this guy. You got to know how to play angles. You have to be able to move your feet. You have to have some anticipation. There's so many ththings that go into it. It's not just like, oh, it's whatever. No, you got to be able to play some good defense, and that takes some skill. What do you think about Trae Young? Is just a cold-blooded dude, man. He's a hell of a player. Is KD a better scorer than Kobe? Obviously, apparently not. there's no way Kobe would be struggling like that. Kobe would just barrel his way to the. How many times have you seen KD just get physical, back somebody down, post them up, and actually get to the basket? Even when he gets posted, have you ever seen KD reverse spin and go to the basket? Usually when he reverse spins, he's looking to pass. KD just looks passive right now, and I don't know what the hell is wrong. I don't know what's going on. Ben sound like a dummy. That dude, I don't even know what's up with that dude. He is too skinny. Yeah, so anyway, guys, these are my thoughts and opinions on this thing. It's a total disaster. If the Nets lose, they need to blow this. I don't see how. Okay, for those of you guys that say, oh, you know what? If Ben Simmons played, he would really help. Yes, Ben Simmons could help them in some facets. Good. But in a situation like this, if you look at the Nets starting five, I'm going to get to your question in a second. Appreciate that. If you look at the Nets starting five, you have Kevin Durant, Bruce Brown, Andre Drummond, Seth Curry, and Kyrie Irving. Let's see, who are you going to swap him out for? Ben Simmons, who's he going to play? You're going to swap him out for Andre Drummond? He's going to be your center? Is that enough size to rebound the ball? Okay, you're going to say you're going to bring him out for Bruce Brown. Okay, Bruce Brown is playing the 4 position. Okay, great. So you have Ben Simmons on the floor right now. You have Andre Drummond, Ben Simmons, Andre Drummond, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Seth Curry. You're going to double Kyrie. You're going to double Kevin. You're not going to double Andre Drummond. And you're going to also have to pay attention to Seth Curry. So who's the open man? Most likely Seth Curry. And you're going to make sure you rotate fast enough if you have good defense. And Ben Simmons. What threat is Ben Simmons going to be on the floor? Let me look at Ben Simmons' free throw numbers. Let me go check the basketball genius, the guy that says he has his IQ is so high. Let me pull up Ben Simmons' stats real quick with his high basketball IQ. Let me pull it up real quick. I'm going to get to your comment in a second. Let me look at his high IQ have himself. Okay, so Ben Simmons with his high IQ, this dude shot 30% from the three last time we saw him, 61% from the free throw line. This is the dude that y'all are going to leave open? This dude that refuses to shoot. Ben Simmons helps the Nets in a few other ways. Defense, you can put him on Jason Tatum, which really doesn't solve your problem because the Nets are still going to get more. They're still going to be able to get more stops. He can't stop it. And he can also help them in the fast break. But what is he going to do for you on the other side of the floor when the other team is playing defense? When they're going to load up on Kyrie and Kevin Durant? Do you think that Seth Curry is going to be good enough to beat the Boston Celtics? That's what Mark Jackson was saying. He said, we'll take our chances with him. Let me get to some more of your comments. Let me get to Bobby Barnes. Appreciate that. This is Roland Curtis. I agree with you. KD is too skinny. MJ began lifting weights summer 1990. The Pistons tried to kill MJ, but MJ still averaged 27 in 1988. But yeah, KD is averaging only 22. Yeah, listen, you're absolutely right. Jordan, these guys, thank you so much for that contribution, by the way. These guys came into the NBA. They were all skinny. And they worked on their bodies. KD just worked on his game. And I think that was a joke, actually, that KD made towards LeBron. He's like, LeBron works on his body. I work on my skills. Well, Tyrone, appreciate that. So why do you give Kobe a pass for underperforming in the finals, but penalize LeBron for playing good? No, I don't give. First of all, thank you for the question. I don't give Kobe a pass. Pass in what way? Like, as in how? Kobe lost in the finals. He had a gentleman's sweep to the Boston. To the Detroit Pistons. They lost in 5 games. Kobe's 5-7 in the finals. He lost to the Boston Celtics in 6 games. Game 6, he got blown off. I'm not giving him a pass for that. I never said Kobe was the greatest player of all time. I never said that. I never gave him a pass for that. Everybody that lost, I recorded it. It's not like it's or Shaq. Shaq was also a part of that too. Tim Duncan is lost in the finals too. It's not. No, I never gave Kobe a pass. Like, I don't think Kobe's a GOAT. Taking only 11 shots in 45 minutes is inexcusable. The reason it is unexcusable, and only 2 free throw attempts, only 2. So listen, guys, I think I've answered most of your questions. I think we've had a lot of fun. Beat it, bro. KD is shooting from shooting. KD not shooting for. Oh, yep, it's clear these Nets need more defense, bigs at this point. Would you give AD next season to stay healthy? I don't know, man. I'm already having my weight issues because I put on weight a lot easy. So I'm the last person to be giving somebody some health advice. I don't know. But one thing you guys may want to check on is what Tim Grover said. the former trainer Michael Jordan, who trained Dwayne Wade and Kobe. He said he believes the reason a lot of these players are getting injured today is because they're training too much with bands and they're not using enough weight. They're not using weights. Their resistance training actually could probably prevent more injuries, according to him. And he said all of these bands that these guys are using are not really good. That's what he says. He's an expert. I'm not. So I wouldn't have. You should probably read on someone who has more expertise on that. I'm not the person for that. Steve Nash isn't cutting it. Now, if they lose, Steve Nash needs to get fired. Steven Jackson just said it the other day on Speak for Yourself. He made a good point. If they lose, Steve Nash must go unless Kyrie Irving and these guys say, nah, we want to keep him. I'll take one or two more questions and I'll let y'all go. This was a legacy game for KD. Yes, it was. But more importantly, it's a legacy series. If Kevin Durant loses, if he loses this series, his legacy must take a hit. I don't see how losing helps you. Whenever you lose, unless you come back and redeem yourself, you're going to take a hit. Last time, my favorite player, Kawhi Leonard, people were talking about him before last year. People have been ridiculing him. And people are still not going to give him the benefit of the doubt, even though 2 years prior, he won the championship because he blew the 3-1 lead. Until he comes back and wins again, people are going to be getting on him. And it's only fair. Y'all hear me? I don't even talk about him because I know nobody's trying to hear that. I understand that. It definitely needs to take a hit. If LeBron is going to take a hit, if all of these guys are going to take a hit, then he needs to take a hit too. I think it's only fair if we're going to criticize everybody. Will Zion ever stay healthy? Man, if I'm being honest with you guys, over a year and a half ago, when I was thinking about Zion, and I'm going to let you guys go because I know you want to watch the Grizzlies game. Make sure also you follow us on Instagram. We pinned our link to the top. Let me post it again here because I'm sure you guys have more questions. We'll definitely take more of your questions. On Instagram, it's pinned to the top. So I'm going to just post it right here again. I always had this feeling that Zion probably wouldn't work out. Now, it's an unpopular thing. But looking at this guy's career, man, he's played, I think, less than 50, 60 games in 3 years. And the fact that he refuses to play basketball in New Orleans. Infinity. Who's now Infinity? I think wait, somebody just left. I didn't see yours. React to my super chat. I didn't see it. Just post your question again. I'm gonna respond to it. What is it? For Infinity, just post your question again. I'm gonna answer it again. I didn't see it. But the fact that Zion refuses to show up to work and play because reportedly he doesn't like it in New Orleans. I'm sorry, I just got to say, like, that just made me realize, like, this dude is probably in this thing for the wrong reasons, man. Like, when LeBron got drafted, he got drafted to go play in Cleveland. So if LeBron was willing to play in Cleveland, you're too big to play in New Orleans, but LeBron was humble enough to play in Cleveland. Now I get it. I remember Kobe, my favorite player. They said he didn't want to play in Charlotte. I think he was originally drafted by the Hornets, and he didn't want to play in the Hornets. And they did everything with Adidas and all of these guys to get him in LA. But if you didn't end up getting there, you got to play, man. You got to play. You got to play. And if he's waiting to get to the state, to New York, I don't know. Right now, if we're talking about him and Zion and John Morant is winning that thing by a mile. For Zion to catch John Morant, if we're going to actually go on results and not just hype, because I've noticed Zion is more about hype. He can come out there, do a 360 windmill, and everybody get hype and forget that, John Morant is doing something. I don't know. I don't really see. I don't know how he's going to get healthy. I don't know. Let me just look for this, for his comment. I didn't see it here. Let me just look for it real quick. Well, I didn't see the comment, but anyway, I apologize if I didn't see your question. LeBron from Ohio. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's still not a big market. Today's athletes are nothing but beta male. Is it more disappointing in the Lakers season? No, it's not, because the Lakers have more talent. This thing is just some craziness because of the way they're playing. There's no way you would have told me that the Lakers would have got into round one and LeBron James would be averaging 22 points per game, shooting 36% from the field. I don't believe that would happen. Even if they lose, I don't see LeBron playing that bad. So that's why it's totally different. So these are okay. So, well, anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys for being a part of this live. We appreciate it. I'm going to let you guys go on and catch the next game. Thank you guys for being a part of this. We're definitely going to be off tomorrow, so we catch you guys on Monday to react to everything. Have a great one. Go up. I spent 20 and you sent my and said you're my favorite YouTuber for infinity. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I apologize if I didn't see it. I think I responded to everybody. Let me see. Sometimes KD's a fraud. Yeah, I see Infinity. KD's a fraud. Russ is going to win MVP next season and break his trip dub. And yes, you should repent. Okay, is you all right, man. Appreciate it. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Be cool, man. Have a good one. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. God bless.